You do not have to be able to see the end to trust the road. That is one of the hardest things a human being can be asked to do. We are wired for visibility. We are wired to need evidence, confirmation, the reassurance of progress we can point to and say, yes, it is working, the direction is right, the effort is adding up to something real. And when that evidence is absent, when the road ahead is obscured and the results are invisible, and the only thing available is the instruction to keep walking and trust that the destination exists even though you cannot see it, something in us resists. Something in us says, this is not reasonable. I need more than faith. I need proof. But here is what I know after watching thousands of human stories unfold. The proof almost always comes after the trust, not before it. The evidence arrives for the person who kept going without it, not as a reward for blind optimism, but as the natural consequence of a process that was always moving towards something, even in the moments it looked completely still. You will make it, and today I am going to show you why that is not wishful thinking. It is the most evidence-based statement I can make about a life that is still being lived with intention. Welcome to Motivation Daily. Today, we are talking about the thing that separates the people who arrive from the people who turn back just before they would have. Let me tell you about a scientist named Charles Darwin. He spent 5 years on a voyage that produced the observations that would eventually become one of the most important scientific frameworks in human history, the theory of evolution. But here is the part that gets left out of the legend. He came back from that voyage and spent 20 years doing nothing with it. Not because he did not believe in it, because he was terrified of what it would do to the world. He could see the implications, and he was not ready to face them publicly. He kept writing, kept refining, kept trusting a process whose endpoint he could not fully see, and when he finally published, it changed the way the entire human species understood its own origin. 20 years of invisible process, one publication that reoriented science permanently. He made it, but only because he trusted a process that gave him almost nothing in the way of external confirmation for 2 decades. Or think about a woman named Sara Blakely, who was selling fax machines door to door in her late 20s. She had an idea, a product, a solution to a problem she had personally experienced, and she spent 2 years developing it in secret in the evenings with $5,000 she had saved, while continuing to knock on doors and sell fax machines during the day. She could not tell anyone about it because she was afraid someone would steal it or talk her out of it. She filed her own patent because she could not afford a lawyer. She was rejected by every hosiery mill she approached. One manufacturer finally agreed to try, not because he was convinced, but because he showed the prototype to his daughters, and they loved it. She had no investors, no connections, no guarantee, just the conviction that what she was building was real and worth the process. Spanx became a billion-dollar company. Sara Blakely became the youngest self-made female billionaire in history. Not because the process was smooth, because she trusted it when everything around her suggested she should stop. Think about a young man named James who spent 3 years building a software product that nobody used. 3 years of writing code, of fixing bugs, of iterating on a product that real users were not adopting, of watching his savings drain and his confidence erode while his peers from university were climbing corporate ladders and buying houses and building the conventional markers of success that made his own path look increasingly like a mistake. There were months where he almost pivoted entirely, almost took the safe job, almost let the evidence, or rather the absence of it, convince him that the idea was wrong. He made one change, not a dramatic overhaul, a single change to how the product handled a specific user problem, and the adoption curve, which had been flat for 3 years, began to climb. Within 18 months, the product had over 100,000 users. Within 3 years, it was acquired for an amount that made the 3 years of doubt and drain look like the most reasonable investment he had ever made. The process had been working. He could not see it. The change that unlocked everything had been building toward possibility the entire time. It just needed one more iteration to find it. Here is what trusting the process actually means, because it has been reduced by overuse into something that sounds like passive acceptance, like sitting back and hoping things work out on their own. That is not what it means. Trusting the process means trusting that the work you are doing right now, in the absence of visible results, is building something real. It means trusting that consistency compounds even when you cannot yet see the compound. It means trusting that the skills you are developing, the character you are forming, the relationships you are building, the knowledge you are accumulating, all of it is going somewhere, even when the destination is not yet visible. It means staying in the work with the conviction that the work is not neutral, it is directional, and the direction is forward, even when forward looks identical to standing still. And trusting the process means trusting yourself, trusting that the instinct that said, "This matters, this is worth pursuing, this is the direction I need to go," was not wrong. That the voice that brought you here, that led you to start what you started, that has been whispering, "Keep going," on the days when everything else is loud with reasons to stop, that voice knows something. And the process is the long, patient, often invisible journey of proving it right. So today, in whatever phase of the process you are in, whether you are at the very beginning and the destination feels impossibly far, or somewhere in the exhausting middle where the novelty has worn off and the results have not yet arrived, or right before the breakthrough you cannot see coming, I need you to hear this with everything you have. You will make it. Not because the path is easy, because you are still on it. Not because the outcome is guaranteed, because you keep showing up anyway. Not because the process is fair or fast or as clear as you need it to be, because the process is working, whether you can see it or not. Trust it. Stay in it. You will make it. Share this with someone who is deep in the invisible phase of their process and needs to be reminded that the work is adding up. Subscribe to Motivation Daily. We show up every day because the process never stops. Drop a comment and tell me, what is the process you are trusting right now, even though you cannot fully see where it is leading? Name it. That naming is an act of faith. Let's go.